All right, what's going on, man? Welcome back to the basement. I'm Ron. I have Danny and Bush here from the Fantasy Stock Exchange. It's a special day. Underdog out of nowhere. I want to say last year was much closer to the Super Bowl than like 2 weeks out, but we got the big board today. It is dropped, which means it is what, January 29th. It's not even February yet. And we will be hopping into a 2024 fantasy football draft. These will not cash until January of next year. But I figured we hop in, have some fun, look at the new ADP. How are we doing today, fellas?
Doing good.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I named it on our channel a ridiculously early 2024 fantasy football draft because it's actually obscene how early we're getting with these drafts. Each, like you said, last year was like closer to the Super Bowl or whatever. We're getting sicker and sicker as the years go along.
Oh, we're getting just like I'm not even really sure what to call it at this point, but I am excited. Shout out to the $3 for anybody out there that would rather go in the smaller field. I think that's a good choice. This far out, like I'm trying to think of like the common man. If it's this far out, you don't want to tie up too much money, but
you're drafting based off vibes. You're drafting based off vibes.
I'll be maxing the big board, or at least that'll be the goal. Oh, we got the 101 too. Yes, sir.
Jeez, of course.
It's actually an interesting conversation of what we even want to do with the 101. I think McCaffrey is probably the play, but I'm open to a receiver.
Yeah, my top two rated already when we went through our early mock draft is McCaffrey, and CeeDee Lamb would be my wide receiver one. So if you want to go with McCaffrey, because the running back landscape's a lot harder to predict at this point, I don't mind that.
This is not what I would like. Hold on, I'm just trying to get the correct board in that I want. Before we're not on the clock for another 20 seconds. All right. So let's go. Does the entire screen look decent here? No, not at all. Nope, not that either.
This is fine.
Yeah, this looks chill.
This is fine. All right. I just wanted to look bigger. I have
we got a slight basement on either side, but it's fine.
Let's go.
Yeah, I got an idea. Just everyone, just bear with me. All right, so what are we doing here? McCaffrey.
Okay. And the reasoning about McCaffrey right now is like maybe later in the offseason I can convince myself to Galbraith a wide receiver here. But at this current point, with how little we know about the rest of the mid-round running backs, just locking one at the top kind of feels nice. I'm not gonna lie.
Ron needs a tech guy. God damn it. I'm literally a boomer with tech sometimes, but it's all good. All right, so let's get a draft board going. This is what I wanted to do. I want a cutaway draft board here. Boom. Now we're in business. Maybe zoom in a little bit more. Now
this guy streams drafts, you can tell.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I stream drafts.
He loves streaming some drafts.
So who do we got in here? We got Bindle. Shout out Bindle. Spicy Taco.
Let's go.
We got Tickle Bitty saying there's zero need for this. Look, man,
he's not wrong, but
you're not wrong. You're not wrong, but there's nothing I would rather do on a Monday at 5:30 than draft a 2024 fantasy football team.
Facts.
Sick crossover. I love it, man. People are going crazy in here. Nothing really sticks out as that crazy. Jefferson, CeeDee Lamb, Tyreek Hill, Jamar Chase. I was hoping that we'd get a fatter discount on Chase heading into 2024.
Yeah, it's kind of tough because outside of like Breece Hall, like who would you really go there? You know what I mean?
I think in home leagues you're gonna see Chase fall to the back half. I could see boomers really falling in love with Breece and Gibbs, much as we're gonna like Breece and Gibbs ourselves.
Oh yeah,
but I think that they're gonna get pushed up. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown's gonna get pushed up just because he scored more than Chase last year.
Half PPR. I don't know if I can take Amon-Ra over those running backs. It's close.
Yeah. Even numbered years too is always discount on AJ Brown's season. So this year we'll get the discount on AJ Brown because it's an even numbered year.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, the interesting is I didn't get him till 11. Yeah, I mean, so 14 ADP. He's gonna be like an early second. Anything in the second for AJ Brown, I'd be fine with.
Oh, smash! Yeah.
Last year,
I mean, narrative-wise, I could see him going later than that in home leagues because everyone's the Eagles are a mess or whatever, and he might go back to like kind of the mid to late second round area that he was at 2 years ago.
I know we're doing redraft, but where are you guys at on Hurts and Dynasty? Because it feels like he's really slipped just because of kind of the kind of the vibes around the Eagles, or maybe not even really slipped, but I know like Jacob Sanderson, I'm on his Substack. He put out a Dynasty rankings. He's at like he put him at 110 in his Dynasty rankings.
Really?
I know
he's moved exactly 0 spots for me.
Yeah,
I haven't moved him at all either.
He's still the 3 for me, but I will say if you want to consider it an extended tier, because I do view a lot of those mid first round quarterbacks pretty similarly, that's fine. But at the same time, you got the contract extension assurance, and you also got the fact that he's one of the premier rushing threats. So you know that's going to buoy a lot of his points. When even if it's an imperfect Eagles scheme, which again we're not out here saying the Eagles are the most well run offense in the NFL. Like that's not what we're here saying.
Nico Collins 206. Wow,
second round pick. I think that's appropriate. Second round, 2-3 turns.
I don't know if I can personally push that button. I understand it. I understand it. But the second's kind of yucky. Not to cut you off, Danny, but I mean, like Rachaad White, Pacheco, I'm chilling on those.
Yeah, I mean, I guess because it's the uncertainty with Stephon Diggs, lower pass volume with Brandon Ayuk. Like, I can see someone getting there saying, hey, the big-bodied wide receiver for C.J. Stroud in a year where C.J. Stroud missed games and only threw, 21 touchdowns. Well, C.J. Stroud projecting forward is one of those quarterbacks you could basically lock into the 30, 35 touchdown area. And if Nico Collins is going to be that number 1 X wide receiver, maybe he's in play for 12, 14 touchdowns in a year.
Especially if Dell starts slow with the injury. I could definitely see pushing that up. Do you guys have any leans for this pick? Like I like a lot. I mean, we have Marv if you want to. It'd be a slight reach.
I would like to stand my Buccaneer fellow right here. I think this is going to be a higher price tag once we get closer to the season. To be honest,
I dig it.
I can stomach it if you guys want it.
I dig it. Now, out of the wide receivers, honestly, I might just favor Marv or Diggs here.
I don't mind Hurts or ETN if we want to go almost like hyper fragile here, but I would like to get a receiver as well. So
yeah, I think I would lean Diggs still probably. Olave would be maybe up there as well. I think I like Diggs the most.
I like 301 Diggs is pretty cheap, to be fair. I mean, like the year he had last year isn't that far off of. I wish I could can I still pull it up here? No, but it's not that far off of his 2021. I think.
Yeah.
And after that, he was like the 110. I mean, 301 feels a bit egregious on Diggs. Like, I don't think that he's like fallen off. I don't know that he's a worse player. Maybe 15% worse.
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of it too. It felt like schematically, a lot of the hierarchy in Buffalo really changed once Joe Brady took over. Now people might be arguing, well, going into next year, like, how do you think that's going to affect them? I also think a full offseason of Joe Brady being the offensive coordinator in terms of schematic, in terms of play sequencing, a lot of that's going to be affected with a full offseason, and people aren't taking that into account. It's tough to take over as a play caller midseason. We've seen it multiple times, guys not even being able to hold the type of offense that Buffalo did once they fired Ken Dorsey. So I'm willing to give a little bit more benefit of the doubt. Some people might be willing to get off the train because he saw that lack of production, because he's an older wide receiver. But at the same time, I mean, I still think he's one of the premier separators, and I'm sure Matt Harmon agrees.
Yeah, I'm be very curious to see what the RP numbers are, because I'd be shocked if it just like fell all the way off. Like, he didn't seem that much worse. I think you're right. It was just like a scheme thing. Brady wanted to run the ball, but it's still Josh Allen. He's going to get to 30 plus passing touchdowns regardless. So, I'll also say we got a super chat. I think this is on your side. What quarterback can I get for the 104 and a 12-team super flex? No tight end.
I have an easy answer to this. I don't know about you guys.
I mean, Kyler Murray.
Quarterback for 104.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence would be the answer that I would have for this right away, because I think he's the premier buy low quarterback in all of Dynasty right now. But the tier that I have Drake May in and Jaden Daniels in, who are like my 103, 104 in my rookie rankings as it currently stands, would be among Trevor Lawrence, Anthony Richardson, and Kyler Murray and Jordan Love. So one of those 4 quarterbacks would probably be my answer to that question if you're looking to buy a quarterback whose equivalent value is the 104. I think the 104 is more valuable than Justin Fields, Dak Prescott, Tua Tagovailoa, Brock Purdy, those type of guys. So I would probably want to get up to that Richardson, Kyler, Trevor Lawrence, Jordan Love area with 104 if I was going to trade it.
Well, at this point, what the 104 kind of represents in terms of hypothetical is a lot. And like you said, like, as much as I love Dak, and if I'm a contender, I'd be willing to do that. At the same time, we have to acknowledge that if Jaden Daniels does go top 5, which is everyone's been rumoring he will, he's going to be instantly valued as a top 12 dynasty quarterback. So at that point, it's like, do I really want to trade that for Dak? No, I don't. Because Jaden Daniels, if he goes 3rd overall to the New England Patriots, is probably going to be the 15th overall, the 16th overall startup pick.
Yeah, that's where I'm at as well. I think I would just like I think 104 is a great pick to have to take a quarterback. You know what I mean? Like like if it was like the Malik Willis draft class, and it's like, you know, you have some studs up top, but there's no quarterbacks. Like I think I would sit in the pocket and just take whoever came. If not, you're staring Marvin Harrison Jr. in the face, which you should still be able to trade out of for like maybe Kyler.
I'd imagine Drake will find his way at 104. I think by the time we get to rookie drafts, it will be very chalk. I think that it's going to be Caleb, Marvin, and Jaden Daniels because of the rushing, assuming he's a high first round pick. And I'm going to have an obscene amount of Drake May as a result because people forget that he can literally rush for like 800 yards and 10 touchdowns a season. So he's the guy that I think would probably stick out as somebody that would be there at 104. Like, dog, you give me Drake May at 2 overall to the Commanders with Ben Johnson as the head coach. Like, he's got a real argument for 101, to be honest.
And those weapons.
Yeah. I like May a lot too. I think you. I heard it from you guys first, bringing up the concern, but like Daniel's build isn't great. Like it's like 6'4", 210 pounds. It's not. I mean, it's not like the biggest.
Well, he was listed at 185 at Arizona State or whatever school he went to before LSU. He
can be an interesting weigh-in.
He's probably going to weigh over 200, but I wouldn't imagine it's going to be much more than 200. And I'm actually like, I'm building out my quarterback draft class database for the 2024 class right now. And when you pull up like the average weight of the top 15 keep trade cut quarterbacks, it's 222 pounds.
That makes sense to me.
The smallest guy on that list is Kyler, who's 207.
I would have liked Neighbors there.
I mean,
I took Waddle in my first draft. Waddle, Cup stick out. If you guys want to go running back, I'm open to
I like Waddle, the Waddle discount, I think, personally.
I like the Cup discount here.
We could take both.
I don't think
also.
Yeah,
Bush is a little ageist sometimes.
I'm just looking at Cooper Kupp, and it's like, okay, who's most likely to make me regret passing on them here? And if Cooper Kupp's healthy, like he's going to be a wide receiver one.
Like we're putting him at 501.
I mean, I could be way more in on Kupp than I was because I was like very staunchly anti-Kupp last year. So I might be in on Kupp if this is going to be his price tag.
Yeah, I mean, 501 Kupp, man. I understand.
I can't imagine this is where his price tag falls. If it's Stafford, McVay, Kupp, Nakua back, you know, same old offense, like he's got to be a 3rd round pick, I'd imagine.
Like, don't get me wrong, I'm a big Puka guy, but you can't convince me that Puka's the 111 if Cooper Kupp's the 5-1. Like that's kind of where I'm at with it. Like I think Puka's well deserved to be a top 12 pick based off what he showed, but like Cooper Kupp should probably be a 3rd round pick realistically.
If we're gonna do Keenan Allen at 312, we can't do Kupp at 5.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
I feel much better about
at least a comparable thing. Like if you want to maybe favor Allen just because he's with Herbert and he's the clear number 1 of his team, like he's also like more age concerns than even what Kupp has.
Yeah.
Also, Travis Kelce going at 39 when we don't even know if he's going to play next year at this point is kind of scary to me.
Yeah, that is actually funny. I did want to bring up one last point with the Hurts thing, fellas. Is there any concern about him as a – because I think where the concern is coming from is not that he's a bad quarterback, but like is he still someone you're confident in as a long-term starter in the NFL?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
that's where I'm at too, and I don't think it's that much up for debate. But I think that's like people are spooked on Hurts as like I'm trying to think of.
That's what happens with big market teams, man. You get a big market team with a quarterback that struggles or whatever. That's just what happens with like people over scrutinize Hurts because he plays for the Eagles. That's just kind of how it goes. And like, I know Danny would know this as a Cowboys fan.
For Jalen Hurts,
bro,
to be a Jets quarterback.
Okay, so Dak is probably going to finish 2nd in MVP voting this year, and I've heard Cowboys fans saying, "Oh, do you move on from Dak because he lost to the fucking Packers and Green Bay scored 6 touchdowns on the first 7 drives?" You'll hear it in every big market. It's horrific.
Unless Patrick Mahomes is available, there's not much you can do as a Philadelphia Eagles fan. Like you have a top 6 NFL quarterback. Like what else do you want?
No, exactly. Like that's it's wild to me. I guess it makes sense. I don't know. You're a product of your environment, and maybe you kind of get sick of falling short. But it's like you have stuff in place for the Eagles, especially. Like the coordinators were just awful this year. If
they were,
I don't know. It was one of those weird spots where I don't know that we've ever seen it in practice yet of one of these coaches just getting promoted from OC to head coach and firing the head coach. But I thought the Bills should have done it with Dable. I feel like now you could say the Eagles should have done it with Steichen. Yes. But it is weird.
I don't know
if practice you can pull
Pierce
that off.
kind of got that treatment at least with the Raiders.
Yeah, Pierce would be
I guess
one.
he was an interim. He wasn't like just a coordinator who got promoted.
The guy who took Lamar also took Anthony Richardson here. Interesting. And there we go. A lot of people just taking the double elites.
Yeah,
Rich round 5. I was also.
By the way, first look at it, CJ Stroud 5'11" seems pretty egregious when all the other pocket quarterbacks are going much later. He's going over Justin Herbert. Yeah,
over
like
that. And Burrow.
And Dak and Burrow. Yeah, come on. Let's
Kyler
be real.
102, fellas.
Smash.
I mean,
this
Trevor Lawrence one's interesting too. Trevor Lawrence 113.
Yeah, that's an obscene.
Caleb 135 is insane.
Even
to me
Kirk,
as well.
bro. Kirk at the 145 when this guy was literally quarterback 8 in points per game, quarterback 6 in points per game before he got hurt. I like the quarterback values, man. Honestly,
you're gonna also the tight ends are interesting too. I know Pitts is like 101 down here behind ACL Hawkinson, which I don't know. Maybe some people will agree to that, but this is interesting. I know people don't want to get burned on Pitts again. But
I mean, why do I feel like Pitts is just going to perpetually burn everyone no matter where? Like it's going to be 3 years from now and Pitts is going to be going at 176 and we're going to be like, what a value on Pitts.
Well, the way I see it with him is he's going to burn someone. He's either going to burn the people that passed on him because he's like a second round value in a year, or he's going to burn whoever just takes him because his profile is too good not to take at this point. Also, Cameron said McBride way too low. I completely agree. Why is McBride that low?
Any love for Derrick Henry at this point?
It's like I like grabbing Kittle here because we have McCaffrey as well.
Yeah, I don't mind going Henry Kittle or
you could talk me into Godwin Hopkins. You could talk me into Derrick Henry. I imagine Derrick Henry is on.
I think Derrick Henry's going to retire, man.
You think he would just retire?
It is a little bit scary. I mean, at this value, 20 picks after ADP
value here too.
Let's do Kittle.
I think 51 versus 71 ADP is pretty nice.
You could talk me into Godwin. The only thing I'll say is I am an ADP whore myself, but it is day one of the contest. Henry. Doesn't really count just yet.
But like I think Mixon's the best option here, and I've never thought I would say that myself personally.
I don't think he's back in Cincy, bro.
I'm personally team Godwin here, but I'm open.
Like roll with Chase Brown.
Do we not like Godwin?
They might draft one.
I don't really know. As a Bucks fan, he just hasn't really looked the same since the ACL tear.
I like Derek.
Take whoever you want.
Let's give you Derek, I guess. God damn it. He's going to retire on us, but I'm fine with it.
Well, what running backs here do you feel good about?
None of them. That's why I was looking at receiver, but they all suck.
Off topic, Ron, but did you get any teams through into any playoff contests to the Super Bowl?
Oh yeah, did you get Super Bowl? Fuck.
No. Did
I did. Unfortunately, the team that I got through, if the Lions just hold on, I would have had like 7 live. But I got just Debo, Kelsey, and Pacheco through. Unfortunately, that'll be good for 196th place in the gauntlet.
But by the way, Ron,
that'll be a quick $250 maybe.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
not like to advance. Plus, you get maybe another 250 if you place top 200. I think is how the contest is structured. So, I mean, if you get lucky and those are the guys that you need, maybe there's an outside shot you place in the top 150, 100 teams or whatever. There's gonna be a lot of dead teams, I would imagine. Yeah. And if the chalk fails, like if McCaffrey doesn't go berserk, or a lot of the teams are gonna have Mahomes and that kind of thing, like it's possible.
It's funny because we were talking about San Fran and the Chiefs being the chalk, and it ended up being what you needed. But I'm going to be very curious to see what the team. I imagine just going to be a 5-5, something like that, or like a 6-4.
There's got to be somebody who snuck through like some decent teams. Like this isn't like a San Fran Baltimore was what you needed, like where a 3 or a 4 team could actually take the thing down. Like there's going to be somebody who snuck at least 8 to 10 live. I would imagine at least 20 teams with 8 live.
The person who wins it is going to end up being somebody who drafted right before the playoffs started when the Chiefs were looking awful and when the Niners already got the 1 seed. Because that's the only way you're getting any ADP value.
Well, yeah, in the Gauntlet 1 was closed, I think, about a week before the playoffs were done, which is the contest I advanced in. So it's not the Gauntlet 2 where all the Chiefs panic was real, like during the Gauntlet 2, but the Chiefs panic wasn't as strong during the Gauntlet 1. Although the 101, oftentimes when you drafted 101, you could still get like at the time, like if you drafted early, like a Kittle, Mahomes or something, or an Ayuk or a Debo Mahomes if you got lucky. And then Pacheco Rice was often available in the 3rd and the 4th round, or the 4th and the 5th round, with those teams. So it's possible, I think, that somebody has like a pretty loaded team if they drafted early and got a lot of Chiefs and 49ers.
Ron, we have Danny's burner in here.
Wait, who?
Guy's name is Zeke Des Troy.
Wait, what, bro? What was I gonna say? Oh, Ron, you know Peter Jennings, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he won my pod. His team scored 92.94 points. So for the record, he would have been able to field a 10-man Chiefs-Lions Super Bowl.
Oh,
devastating.
Yep.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah,
he's really
for the record,
good, man.
This team,
C Serum or whatever, or CSU Ram or whatever his user is, he's really good. I every time I go, find myself in a pod or a league with him, he's like at the top.
Yeah, he's super sharp when it comes to the drafting. But taking this team, bro, like Patrick Mahomes, Jared Goff, Isaiah Pacheco, Jahmyr Gibbs, David Montgomery, Travis Kelce, Amon-Ra, Laporta, Jamison Williams, and Justin Watson.
Yeah, I'm not really sure how we got both of the Lions running backs and Amon-Ra and Pacheco and Kelce. I'm not really sure how he got all those guys.
You had to have drafted that team like way early on, maybe, right?
Yeah, I think the Lions were actually going higher earlier on than they were towards the end.
Yeah, like
because they still had a shot reasonably at the 1 seed, I think, when you were drafting earlier.
Yeah, that's fair.
You guys like Brian Thomas
Purdy
Jr.
just went for this guy's second quarterback.
Doomsday?
He just took a naked Purdy. We needed that to come back to us.
Yeah, but we'll just take Darnold.
Galaxy brain the Darnold.
Why are we seeing
Look, man, real ones remember when that was Trey Lance last year, round 8.
I'm glad I drafted absolutely 0 shares of him. So
I drafted a lot of him in the big board.
I had some Darnold.
Drafters Anonymous meeting here. Let's see. What do we got? Are we biting the Mostert bullet again?
Is there any onesies?
I like Deontay a lot. Onesies, we got Pitts.
We have Kittle,
Tua, Goff, Staff.
We should probably start Tua. We have Waddle.
Yeah. What quarterbacks are there? Tua.
What we're looking at. Remember, too, it's a 20-round draft, so we can throw like 3 or 4 at a onesie if we really wanted to.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind, honestly, just like fading QB after Tua and throwing 3 or 4 at QB.
Yeah. You want to take Tua here or our next spot? Probably has to be here.
No, probably. Yeah.
Probably here.
I like
Mike Williams.
ACL.
I like Deontay for sure.
I don't mind going Deontay here.
Deontay.
The ACL is scary, but it was.
Do you want to push Tua or take him here?
I think we need one.
I think we're not going to get him falling back to us.
Yeah, I think we have to get him as well.
I think we got so much wide receiver value too at this point. Is
he's going to be the starter in Miami this year? I think he will, but I don't think it trades out of.
Well, you mentioned the thing with Hurts about potential long-term security issues for his job. I more so feel that about Tua, and I was actually talking with Corey about. Well, I was talking about it with Corey, and I said, "Are you at all shocked if they go after like Trevor Lawrence instead of Matthew Stafford within like the next 2 years?"
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Jags. I think people think way more harshly about Trevor Lawrence than the Jags do.
Fair, yeah. But I'm saying it like let's just say this year, like the offense bottoms out, like the talent there isn't there, the offensive line struggles, maybe play calling isn't there. I don't know. Like maybe it bottoms out, they win 6 or 7 games. Like, do you think it's a possibility they might just say, "Hey, Trev's not going to win it with us here anyways. Let's go and get a Godfather package for him"?
I'd be shocked if that happened.
I think they'd have to fire.
I think if you polled NFL executives and asked them to start a franchise, Trevor Lawrence would be one of the first 6 names they said.
100%. I mean, you're talking about 24 years old, 6'6", 230, rocket arm mobile. Like,
I would give my firstborn son to have him in New Jersey.
You could have. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
that's too soon. That was too soon.
Yeah, dude. If we Adam Gase, dude, Peyton Manning whisperer.
Remember when you guys won that game and lost Trevor Lawrence?
Yeah, man. That was wild.
It just the Adam Gase years like genuinely took years off of my life, and we're still not out of the other side of that.
Yeah, he's your Greg Schiano.
Oh yeah.
What's up with you starting live
everybody
early?
Taking? Sorry.
Nah, come on now.
What's up with everybody taking double onesies, triple onesies already?
Well, it's a 20-round draft. I'd imagine that's why they're doing it.
Fair.
But it's a little it's like weird to do it so early. Like like 20 rounds. I'll push it. Like with Tua, I like what we're doing where we can go like 3 QBs with Tua. I'm trying to think of like what our next move is. I mean, we're pretty all around balanced here.
Flat with the 50 super, appreciate it, brother.
Dude, Flet's been making it rain on the homies recently.
Amen. Dude,
Flet might as well have just taken a $50 bill and just lit it on fire from donating it to us for a January mock draft.
What's that, like $4 US?
Appreciate that. Wait, US?
Yeah.
No, it's Canadian. It says 50 Canadian.
No, I know. How much
the conversion?
37?
Yeah, like $37 probably.
Yeah. That's what's up.
And it'll smell like maple syrup when it hits the inbox.
I don't think that's actually true. I've heard people say that about our money. I've like literally
tried that. It does smell weird though. It
smells weird, but it doesn't smell like maple syrup. Maybe they tried to make it smell like maple syrup, but it just didn't work. I don't know.
Yeah, that is hilarious. Those, I don't know. I mean, this is kind of like behind baseball, but the money you make on YouTube, it like pays out like in weird increments and time periods, and just sort of, I just get like an email from Google AdSense that it's paid me out every so often.
Yeah, it's like
sometimes it'll be months too.
Yeah, it's like 3. That's weird. That doesn't happen to us. It's like 3 weeks after the month is ended.
Yeah, I should probably look into that.
If Caleb had fell, I would have advocated for him there.
Yeah, Caleb would have been nice, man.
Yeah, I mean, I don't hate taking Drake at some point too.
He's probably way
cheaper wide receivers up here, huh?
We can get some
Drake is probably dirt.
Yo, crazy as it sounds, is Jahan Dotson and Curtis Samuel available? I might want to build out a backdoor Tommy stack with
gone already. I saw him go.
Dotson's went?
Yeah, Dotson's gone.
Kind of absurd value on Sutton if he falls to
I was going to say the same thing. I kind of like all of these receivers.
Also, I love AD.
Are we ready to admit that Jerry Jeudy might be a value at this point in time?
Yeah. I mean, we are double-digit round Jerry Jeudy.
Do we take him over Cortland Sutton though?
Like, is Jerry Jeudy the new Kadarius Toney, where he like has manufactured fake upside?
Fuck, man.
This was a strong. 2022 was good, man.
I know that's what pisses me off. And he actually he was such a good piece, especially for best ball, because that happened at the end of the year.
I was a bigger Jeudy fan than everybody, but at the same time, I don't know if I could do it over Sutton.
No, we're not going to do it over Sutton, but we could literally take both of them here.
Yeah,
we could.
I don't think Judy's back with Denver. He's going to be with a different team.
Sutton's for
sure. Is there any quarterbacks in case we don't fall behind? Like I don't even mind Stafford since we have Cup too.
Who the hell is Denver going to start this year?
Denver
could take Stafford. Daniels may look like they go much later.
Jaden Daniels is kind of an absurd value as well. That's crazy that he goes that
agree.
low.
I like
you
him.
Could talk into taking him.
I like double tapping both those rooks, to be honest, later on in the draft.
Yeah, I mean, we have 2 quarterbacks. I don't mind 4.
I like AD Mitchell or Jeudy here. I think it would be my 2.
I'll let you guys decide this one.
Any love for Downs, or I'm going to press the button on Jeudy?
Yeah, just go on Jeudy. I think that's fine.
The Judester.
Yeah, I'm fine with that as well. I don't think that they're both going to be in Denver. We'll see, but I would be kind of surprised. I don't know. Shocked. I don't know how free agency's going to end up. I don't know
they're
if
both kind of
contracts up, but
they're both kind of getting priced right now, like they are in Denver. So
where does Denver pick?
That's just a plus. 12th pick.
12. Bo Nix, you are a Denver Bronco,
dude. I see it, man. I see Sean Payton.
How do you guys feel about Bo Nix?
He's the 4th best quarterback in this draft, in my opinion.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, like if I'm drafting,
I mean, Danny's gonna give a biased take on how JJ McCarthy's got better tools.
No, like if you need someone to start right away, I don't mind having Nix higher because again, like he's a better quarterback right now. But if you're a team like Minnesota or the Rams and you want to take JJ before him because you think he'll fit your system after Matthew Stafford moves on, or maybe if you're Minnesota, you sign Kirk Cousins to a 1-year deal, or you bring in a Jacoby Brissett and you can have JJ learn. I would like him in that situation. Now, if you're telling me he has to start right away, no, just take Bo Nix. But if you can wait a year, I don't mind waiting on JJ because he is young.
Now, I commented on this tweet the other day, and again, it wasn't on bad vibes. I think Dynasty Zoltan's actually one of the better follows on Twitter. He showed a startup mock, or not a mock, but a startup he's in right now. He took Michael Penix 709, Bryce Young 804, Will Levis 909. And I commented, like, it's not the point of this post, but Penix over both to me is batshit insane. I don't think he's going in the first round.
Penix is older than Bryce Young.
Dog, I've heard Brugler and like some people that are really connected say that there's actually a possibility he doesn't get drafted at all.
I heard
very scared by the knee, man. I think the knee is gonna.
I don't think that'll happen, but like
he had 4 season-ending surgeries.
Like
no?
betting odds right now of the non-Jaden Daniels, Drake Mann, Caleb Williams quarterbacks, if I had to set the lines, on like JJ, Bo Nix, and Penix going in the first round. Penix is the lowest of the three
by
for
far.
sure.
Yeah,
and I would say Bo Nix and JJ are like, plus 150 each, and then Penix is like plus 380 or something.
I would put it.
I was gonna say I'll give you plus 500 odds like that. That's what the.
I don't know. I think the medicals will show up. Like, and I honestly I don't think he even even if the medicals were fine, like I still think it would be like a 2-to-1 shot that he goes in the first round.
Well, I mean, it's a similar
lefty, 3 NFL wide receivers.
Similar situation to Hooker last year. Obviously the big time numbers. I would say probably Penix.
Very similar situation to Hooker, actually, because the knee concerns as well.
The injury, too. Yeah. And with Penix, it's both his, I believe, his shoulders and his knees. So, old prospect.
It's not a great situation.
I don't even like Bryce Young, but Penix over Bryce Young and Dynasty music.
That's batshit. That's batshit crazy. I mean, also, Levis too. Like Levis at least has some Levis kind of over investment into him. Like it looks like they're going to roll with him. We've seen flashes. Like I would argue we've seen more flashes out of Levis than we've even seen out of Bryce. It's just that Bryce was the first pick in the draft.
For sure. Now
I have Levis over Young, but they're like back to back in my dynasty.
I have Young over Levis, but they are back to back in my rankings as well.
Yeah, I have Levis top 20. I have Young a little bit higher, probably around the same. Actually,
they're literally 19 and 20 for me.
So. I could literally check my rankings right now. I don't know why I'm speaking like, oh, that's probably what it is. Let me check what it is.
You probably have them 19 and 20. I can't imagine you have anybody different ahead unless you put one of the rookies ahead of those two guys, which unless I heard concrete, Bo Nix is going in round 1 or whatever. I probably
still can't do that even.
Those guys.
Okay, so Danny.
Dang, Franklin in the 12th is fun, man.
Yeah, I like
Franklin. Troy Franklin's a great prospect, man. I tweeted it out that Troy Franklin is if Jamison Williams and Devontae Smith ran into each other at full speed.
Oh yeah, I saw that tweet.
Okay, so
I'm glad the film community likes him too. It seems like that's the case.
I think he's definitely one of those guys that I think both the film and the analytics community are going to agree on, but yet still he's going to end up underrated. You know how sometimes like we all agree this guy's good, and then for some reason he's like wide receiver 8 in the class for everybody.
Yeah,
like Franklin to me, he's not wide receiver 8 for a lot of people. I think most people view him as like a top 5 to 7 receiver at the least, but he's my wide receiver 5, and I think he absolutely is worthy of being there.
Yeah, like he's my 7 right now, and I think that cluster of like him, Brian Thomas, Xavier Legette, A.D. Mitchell for me,
Lad McConkey.
Like there's a bunch of guys that I have a top 50 frame of mind on. That if they went in any order in the NFL draft, I wouldn't really be surprised. Like if one went at 21st overall and one went at 52nd overall, like depending on the scheme fit or team fit, I think I'd view them similarly.
Herbert is a smash here. That is crazy value on him.
Khalil?
Yeah.
Yeah, I low-key kind of like him next year. Like I'm in a startup right now, and I literally just drafted him in like the 14th.
Benson in the 12-10. Holy!
I don't.
Sorry, I just noticed that.
All right.
I like
there on
Stafford,
Herbert. You guys want to go Stafford too? I still don't know that I would rank Stafford over Jaden Daniels for
I 100%
2024.
Yeah, that's actually.
What about tight end?
Burned, and neither of these guys are going to get drafted. Like, you got Musgrave, Kraft, Hunter Henry.
Dusty.
That's way too high on Kraft. I don't mind Musgrave.
I do.
Stafford, Musgrave, Polk. Anybody got anything to throw out?
I love me some Polk. I wouldn't mind going with him. Curtis Samuel's not bad if we backdoor Drake May too.
Yeah, I dig that too. I'm down for a number of directions here.
Woo! Did I get it off in time? I did. Curtis
Sam? Oh, I'll never turn down a Curtis Samuel.
Yeah.
Michigan boy.
Is there? I mean, he's an
Ohio State. No, I think
he went to Ohio State.
Oh yeah, he went to Ohio State.
He's an Ohio State boy. I'm more so just saying I've always liked him since he got drafted in Carolina.
I just remember him from the Ohio
he paired with Funchess.
Game.
Well, he paired with Funchess, and Funchess was a Michigan boy. They both
had like an end around in that Michigan versus Ohio State game.
Oh, they used him more as a running back than they did as a receiver.
Yeah,
in that game,
which was fun.
Also,
that's when the Panthers used to use him like that.
I'll still never live down the fact that JT Barrett run on 4th down was indeed short, and they called it a first down, and then they scored on the next play.
We're Michigan fans out now that Harbaugh's gone. You guys just happy it happened.
Yeah,
not sad it's over kind of thing.
Are you guys like Raptors fans in 2019? That's kind of like the energy that I would get.
I'm not mad at Harbaugh for leaving. I'm not mad at Harbaugh. I'm not mad at Jesse Minter because I expected both of them to go. And like Jesse Minter is going to be a head coach someday. That guy is the next Mike McDonald. I'm telling you that right now. Harbaugh leaving, that's fine. Him leaving, that's fine. More so, it's Ben Herbert leaving that really, really has me in a fuss because a strength and conditioning coach can only do so much at the NFL level. I would want to see him affect the young college guys, what he's been able to do at Michigan, turning 3- and 4-star guys into these legit freak of nature human beings. Like Ben Herbert has been the reason why Michigan has produced so much talent because, again, they don't recruit like Ohio State. They don't recruit like Georgia. They don't recruit like Alabama. They're more so like the 15th best team, the 18th best team at recruiting at the country in any given year. But when you have a strength and conditioning coach that can get your guys at such a physical expectation every single year for Harbaugh and for that coaching staff, that's why Michigan was so good. Their ability to take these guys that are underdeveloped, develop them, get them physically there. And we've seen what Michigan's been able to produce, especially in the trenches. Like they haven't been getting a bunch of 5-star linemen, but they've turned how many draftable linemen in the NFL?
Yeah, this is the longest I ever expected to hear about Michigan's strength and conditioning program.
Yeah, I can't believe you just told
him about
the strength and conditioning coach.
Hey, maybe he can get the most out of QJ.
I don't hate it though. They did have Taco Charlton.
So this
Wormley,
Juju guy just takes
Hurst.
Drake May and Baker
More so
Mayfield
recently,
from
yeah.
us.
Well, come on.
How many QBs does this guy have?
Probably 4.
Juju? He has 3.
Okay, respect.
So he goes May, Bake.
Jalen Mayfield. Yeah, he got drafted too. He went high.
What's Tampa Bay's sentiment on Baker right now, Bush? Like, are you bought in? Is he your quarterback?
Tampa Bay's sentiment is probably that they're going to offer him some kind of Geno Daniel Jones-ish type of deal. My sentiment is why offer him that unless that's what his market value is. Yeah. So let him hit the market and let that dictate what his market value is. Because if nobody's offering him more than $15 million a year to be like a bridge quarterback, like the Broncos or something is like his best offer, then why pay him like $30 million a year? I would much rather take whatever pick we have, 21st pick or whatever we have in the draft, or 25th pick in the draft, and get Bo Nix or JJ McCarthy instead of paying Baker Mayfield a shit ton of money, because realistically the guy was nothing before this year. He was, fine, but he wasn't
First 2 years were nice.
He got paid like $5 million. If he comes back and he's going to demand open market money, that's fine. But I don't know. I think you get yourself in a bind when you pay like average quarterbacks decent money. A Baker Mayfield situation can work if you have a good team around him, which we do, but it's hard when you start paying a guy like that and then it affects how your rest of your team is built.
No, it's really tough. It's a recipe for just winning the South. Damn it, we lost out on Daniels too. It's a recipe for just winning the South in perpetuity and then like not doing anything with it really.
Yeah.
Hear me out, by the way.
We're gonna beat San Fran and Philadelphia and Dallas and Green Bay and Detroit with Baker Mayfield and the rest of our roster. Like I think you got to have like a pretty strong roster for that. And our roster is good. It's not that good.
By the way, if Bucky Irving makes it to us, I really like that.
We're gonna have to figure out a quarterback here pretty soon. I think.
Well.
Take a quarterback too. Yeah.
I mean, we have a lot of options at quarterback.
I mean, Daniel Jones.
Levis is interesting too.
Point, I think.
I like Levis.
I think Levis is very
interesting. Daniel Jones goes.
Oh my god.
Yeah, Levis, I guess, is our best option.
We're just 4 quarterbacking it, right?
We got to. We have to.
Yeah. We could go 3, but we could go 4 if you want.
I think we have to go 4 to be honest. Like our quarterbacks are bad.
Yeah.
So what does this team end up like? Do you want to just take Levis here, because we've sort of learned that the ADPs on this slate don't really matter, but we could continue to push if you want. We got Polk out there, Bucky Irving, Ladd McConkey, Worthy.
Yeah. So Worthy is just absurd to me that he's on the board.
Yeah, I'd like to take Worthy as well.
I take Worthy here, especially best ball half PPR. I really like Bucky Irving here too.
Over a QB, I would take Levis here, but we can push it again. We keep getting burned.
I would say just take Levis here. We're getting burned too much.
Yeah, I'm down to just go Levis.
I mean, at this point, we may as well just do a 4 quarterback now.
Well, I mean, even if we do a 4 quarterback, we're running out of starting quarterbacks to begin with.
We're probably done at receiver. How does this team end up to you guys? We have how many more picks? Let's see. Hold on. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 more picks. We have 2 QBs, 4 running backs, 8 receivers.
2, 6, 9, 3.
3-6-9-3.
Sorry. 3-6-9-2. I meant. My bad.
Don't you mean 4 QBs though?
Yeah, we need 4.
Right.
No?
We do need I mean, you could do a 4-6-8-2.
I think we need 5 backs too. I think we should probably take one more back.
Oh, 5, not 6.
4-6-8-2. Does that freaking 4-6-8-2 is 20
rounds? Yeah.
4-6-8-2 works for me.
I would say 4-5-8-3 would be a little better.
That's fair.
4-5-8-3.
Yeah, because we only have one.
Could go 3-6-8-3
but right now at the tight end position, so we probably want to take 2 of them. I think.
Yeah, I would agree.
Kate Otten would have actually been kind of nice.
By the way, we mentioned Baker Mayfield this year. What are the odds that Carson Wentz is just the next Baker Mayfield?
Yeah, same.
Yeah, same.
Who's the next Baker you were saying?
I was saying, what if it's just Carson Wentz?
No chance.
You don't think so, bro?
The next Baker Mayfield is Bryce Young. That's where Dave Canales is.
No, I was gonna say, hear me out. I meant to like a guy that was discarded and comes back, former high pick. Hear me out. In the game he played for the Rams this year, he looked pretty good.
Wentz?
He looked pretty good.
Ew.
I don't know. I don't think that he'll have a revival. I mean, what Baker just throw like 30 fucking touchdowns?
I got a better answer. The next Baker Mayfield is Ryan Tannehill.
I can see that too.
It might be too old.
We're coming full circle. First it was Ryan Tannehill, then it was Geno Smith, then it was Baker Mayfield, and it's gonna be Ryan Tannehill again.
We got to mix in a Carson Wentz in there before we get back to the.
I'm telling you, Ryan Tannehill is still a top 25 quarterback in the NFL, and if the Falcons or the Broncos had Ryan Tannehill, they'd be a better team.
I think I would say the same exact thing about Jimmy Garoppolo too.
Yeah, I think he's a worse version of Tannehill. Yeah, but I
just don't think his arm's there anymore.
Top 32 quarterback in the NFL, ergo should be a starter.
I just think his arm is so cooked at this point that, like, I don't know.
You think Jimmy G's is?
Jimmy G's arm is just so cooked at this point.
Well, is Jimmy G better than Kenny Pickett? Because that's exactly the type of landing spot I think Jimmy Garoppolo would be good in.
I mean, does it matter is the question I have.
No, Darnold's going to be the next Geno Baker.
We got to take Bryce Young with this team, right?
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, you need quarterback upside, and at least, taking the first overall pick would be quarterback upside.
Bush, how'd you like Canales? Like, do you like that hire for the Panthers? My only gripe with it is I feel like it's crazy to hire him before Ben Johnson lands somewhere.
Yeah, I don't. So he kind of gives me like, everybody's like, oh, how can he be ready to be a head coach yet? He just went from like quarterback coach to 1 year offensive coordinator. He kind of gives me like Kevin O'Connell vibes a little bit.
Yeah, I don't buy that as much. Like lack of head coaching experience, whatever.
Yeah, like I could kind of see his tenure going the way that Kevin O'Connell's tenure has gone so far. So I don't know. I think he's going to be a good coach. I think he's a good leader. Every time I listen to his press conferences, I was like, he kind of has like a bit of Robert Saleh energy to him, where like you just kind of want to listen to the guy speak. So yeah, I think he'll be good for Bryce Young. I figured they would get the coaching hire like decent. What I was more worried about was like how they actually built the team.
Funny enough, the comp that I had for it was like Kevin Stefanski, where he was the interim at the end of 2018, was the offense coordinator 2019, and then obviously gets hired coach of the year first year with Cleveland, I believe, in 2020, right?
Was he the coach of the year?
Believe so.
I think he might win it this year too, no?
Probably should.
I think he's like one of the higher candidates for sure.
He should. I think D'Amico might, though.
Fair. Like, Stefanski's got to be the most underrated coach in the NFL, right?
I agree.
I mean, he might legit get fired next year if Watson is bad.
That's insane.
Who did they just sign in Cleveland as their OC? Dorsey. I think that they brought Dorsey.
That's a good pickup for them.
Yeah, I mean, the Bucs are interviewing like Alex Van Pelt and shit. I'm like, oh god.
The only thing that throws me off about Canales is he did have some leftwich tendencies of just ramming the rock on first down for no reason. Like some run pass going on. But
yeah.
I don't know. You've seen more than me.
McCarthy.
People that were comparing him to Leftwich in Tampa Bay are stunned. Like Leftwich was horrible. Horrible. Like if people are comparing him to Leftwich, like you guys like he was like Leftwich was Dirk Cutter bad. Like we can't be seriously comparing. Like Canales was like Monken when we had Monken. It was like he did some shit that annoyed you, but he was like, in my opinion, one of the top 15 play callers in the league with potential because it was his first year to get better.
I think that's fair. I think I'm in the same camp. I was just comparing in terms of just
we
first
have
down
to take Polk now, right?
Yeah. Oh,
we have one more spot for a receiver.
Easy value.
Yeah, let's tail it off at Polk here. 50 picks past ADP. Polk, I like Kraft here as well, to be honest.
Is Mayer available?
He should be.
No,
he's not. I like Fant personally. I don't think you guys love Fant, but that would be my.
All I'm saying, dude, is I think that Kraft has done enough to at least make that job.
What about JT Sanders?
Like a best ball situation there.
What about JT Sanders?
I think we should be able to get him with our next pick.
Okay.
Yeah,
I would go Kraft here personally, but I'll let you guys make the call.
You go Kraft, see what happens. Why not?
Yeah.
Musgrave is dust, man. I don't care what anybody says.
Really?
Yeah, Musgrave. Like when I scouted the two guys, like I didn't think it was particularly close. I thought Kraft was a much better prospect.
Hey, they're both better than Luke Schoonmaker.
Like Musgrave had like 600 receiving yards in his career at Oregon State, and Kraft had like a 900 yard season. Like I know he played for South Dakota, so it was like not as like valuable of like production or whatever. But like the guy, honestly, like him and Sam Laporta like had like the same grade for me virtually. Like they were both good prospects, I thought, and they were both great athletes, obviously too. So I would not be shocked at all if Tucker Kraft is like a huge riser. This like next year in January, we're talking about him as like a top 8 dynasty tight end.
I think the only issue is Kraft seemed more like the blocker between the two, if that makes sense.
He's a better blocker, but that also like kind of bodes well for him a little bit. Like if he's better as a receiver and a blocker, why do you even have Musgrave on playing snaps?
Yeah. I felt like as a receiver, he like I felt like he almost like I know that he tested well at the combine, but I feel like just I don't know. I'm gonna look at like Yak in a second, but it felt like he was a little more Jason Witten out there. It's like the only way I could describe it.
Yeah, I didn't see that at all from him in college, man. Like he was a great. He's like a 9.75 RAS score. Like he was like a really good athlete.
Yeah.
Kraft RAS. Okay.
He also I know his like athlete. If you look at his like PFF grade, like he posted like 5 games of like over a 75 PFF receiving grade, and Musgrave posted 0.
Not too bad. Yeah, Tucker Kraft 9.52 apparently RAS, which is ridiculous too.
Yeah,
he had better yak than Musgrave too.
I mean, to be fair,
better yards per run, but he was just used more downfield. Which is weird. I don't know why you would use Tucker Kraft on a 4.9 ADOT, but I guess that's just kind of what it is.
By the way, Ron, did Zach Kuntz get fucking snaps this year at all?
No,
I don't think so.
Fuck, man.
I know.
The Jets the Jets were running like Yaboa over him.
Bro, I'm embarrassed to say I had Zach Kuntz as like a top 5 tight end in last year's class.
Well, like,
I thought he was good. I thought he was actually had good film for a guy that was like older and like, didn't play.
Did he play Old Dominion or some shit?
Bro, yeah. I'm looking back and he had a 10.00 RAS.
Yeah, he is the best tight end athlete ever.
Fucking insane.
Yeah. The Jets love Ruckert though, man. His dad's like a Jets fan too. I don't know if you've seen he got drafted and his dad was jacked up about it. He's like a New Jersey like sicko Jets fan, but yeah, all the fans really like Ruckert as tight end too. We'll see. They want Uzomah gone. They want Uzomah gone.
You should have drafted.
Fire that guy
Pierce.
into the sun.
Uzomah's been awful.
CJ Uzomah. Dude, didn't he have like one mediocre? He had the one mediocre year on the Bengals, and then didn't he actually get a solid chunk of a contract from the Jets too?
Yeah, the Jets free agents acquisitions have been awful outside of like DJ Reed, under Douglas. I don't know, the whole fucking franchise is a mess, fellas. It's really all it is. Is Devin White just dust now, Bush? I don't mean to just like talk about real life football here.
100%. Yeah.
Just I remember like loving him. Like I remember coming out of school, he was that guy.
He was sick,
like the next,
man. He was sick. His in 2020 in our Super Bowl run, like I will forever be grateful for what Devin White did in that 2020 playoff run. He got that team jacked up. He had some big plays, including the interception against New Orleans, the stiff arm of whatever his name was, Marquez Callaway stiff armed him into the shadow realm after he caught that ball. Game sealing interception in the Super Bowl against Mahomes. Like he's a stud, man. Like he has the potential to be one of the best linebackers in the league, but the guy just is not mentally there half the time. It feels like what needs to happen for him is he needs to pack on 10 pounds and become a pass rusher because that's what he's good at.
Really? Marquez Callaway, what a fucking name. Do you remember?
Because like Levante is still getting like
Levante is
giving good
a future
minutes,
Hall of
right?
Famer. He'll never get in, but he's a future Hall of Famer.
I tweeted that he should be a Hall of Famer
JT
recently.
went, bro. No way.
Like Levante
JT
David's
Sanders.
per game numbers are like they actually blow Bobby Wagner and Luke Kuechly's out of the water. Like it's not even particularly.
I mean, to be fair, like tackle numbers at linebacker.
No, not tackle numbers. Forced fumbles, interceptions, passes defensed, fumble recoveries, TFLs, sacks, everything kills them.
Fair.
Are we going 3 tight ends? Are we going? All right, so we have 3 picks left. We're at 2-4-9-2. 4 quarterback for sure.
Yeah.
In terms
probably
of
need a QB for sure. I like Fant here too. If you want to go with Fant,
fellas, what the hell are we gonna do at quarterback here?
JJ McCarthy.
Oh, this is sickening.
JJ, it's Ryan Tannehill, but
I think really JJ McCarthy might actually be an option here.
Yeah. This has to be a 4 quarterback build. I don't care, guys. I don't feel comfortable with it at all.
All right. I think this we're saying JJ McCarthy of these QBs. One of these guys has to be a quarterback.
I would say so.
And honest to God, I think the next best quarterback on this list is Ryan Tannehill.
I agree.
Do you want to take a running back first?
Round. Yeah, let's take a running back first.
It's gonna have to be a 2 tight end build, but I'm fine with that.
Can you search if Jalen Wright is still on the board?
Yes.
WR?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
There.
You want him?
Yes. Let's go. He's good.
Can I ask who the hell this guy is?
University of Tennessee.
Super damn efficient running back from Tennessee.
Yeah. Okay. Let me throw you some stats here, Ron.
Hit me.
I have the running back database open right now. Let's go. Jalen Wright. We have 21.1 years old.
Love it.
Early declare. Junior. Let's see what else. What do we got? Numbers wise here. 91.2 PFF rushing grade this past year. 5'11", 210 pounds. I had his MPH number somewhere, but I think it's like 21.5 was his top speed or something like that.
22 catches.
Best season rush yards over expected is 3rd in this class. Yards per attempt is 7.3 this year. Also has, where's his receiving stuff here? Not the greatest receiving numbers, but he does have some good catches. Good catches. Yeah, not bad. 31.6% missed tackles forced per attempt. That's 2nd in this class, according to Sports Info Solutions. 132 to PFF elusive rating as well. He's like, the thing about him is that he's like just a pretty decent projection. And when you watch him, he actually has some explosiveness, 23.6% targets per route run as well. So he's big enough. He's fast enough. He's young. He's got some upside. I think he's going to start to rise probably once we get into the combine, because I think he's going to test pretty well as well. So he's kind of just like he's like my sleeper name. And he's not really a sleeper. I think there's a lot of people that are aware of him, but if you're not aware of him, definitely go check him out. He also has the highest pass blocking grade in this class too. So he can do it on all 3 downs.
Over 1,000 rushing yards on just 136 attempts, 7.4 yards per attempt is really solid.
Yeah, yards after contact per attempt.
35 runs of 10 or more yards is pretty absurd for 136 carries.
Yeah, 4.35 yards after contact per attempt. That was the 2nd best single season total of everybody not named Trey Benson in 2022. So he had a very efficient season. He also broke a tackle on like 22% of his carries. Only Marshawn Lloyd broke a tackle on more of those. So he's not even like a huge running back. So he's like elusive. He's physical. He's got speed. He's got receiving ability. He can pass protect. He's got a decent profile because he's 21 years old. Like he's an interesting dude for sure.
You guys like Braylon Allen or Audric Estime at all?
Allen, I feel like I'm lower on just because everybody's very excited about the guy because he like has been in the Devy scene for so long, and his like biggest standout
he's like 14 years old.
He's like can't drink in the United States yet.
Yeah.
But Estime, I'm a little bit more interested in. He led the country, I believe, in PFF rushing grade this year.
Yeah.
Huh. I'm just curious because they both kind of look like AJ Dillon types of like just like big ass running backs. I don't really. I kind of need to see how they run at the combine first before I.
Kuiper loves Estime. I know that he has him like 2 in this class.
Huh. Jersey boy Audric Estime, of course.
Yeah, he's 6'1", 215 listed here. He also, to the point of Braylon Allen, he's also going to be 20.6 years old on draft night, Estime. So he's.
I'm hammering the over on 215 for Estime. Estime hasn't been in 215 since he was in high school.
Yeah, he's a thick dude for sure.
Yeah. He's probably going to be like 5'10", like 221.
But we'll see. People love to say the comma doesn't matter, and I think for receivers it's overrated. But for running backs, I think it's actually for running backs and tight ends, I think it's actually pretty meaningful.
Thresholds matter so much more at running back than they do wide receiver because you always have like Amon or St. Brown's where even though they don't test out of the wazoo, like they
Addison last year.
For their,
and I wasn't even an Addison guy, and I was just like, just chill. Like it's not a massive deal that he didn't run a 4.3.
Yeah, like big fucking deal. And I mean, you knew how much same. I loved Addison.
EPA per play estimates 4th in this class. Positive play percentage, he's 3rd in this class. Like he looks like a very good runner of the football. So he's probably like a better and a younger Brian Robinson. If you had I haven't watched him, so I have no idea what he looks like when he plays. I'm grading running backs. I've only graded Benson so far. So I'm curious to see how his film looks. I'm actually quite excited about this running back class just because
me too. It's not top end, but it's deep. It's deep.
Oh yeah.
Well, I don't know about deep. I think there's a lot of
you know what I'm trying to say.
I'm not sure if they're all good or not.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to sort through who's good and who isn't. That's why I'm excited for the running back class.
You guys want Tannehill?
That would be my preference.
I'd be good with it.
Yeah. All right, let's go Tannehill. But I agree. Like there's certainly look, it's not the best class ever. It's not a great class by any means, but there's names you can talk yourself into from mid-second round of rookie drafts through the rest of the thing. Like there's a lot of names. Like we'll see how they test and everything, but Bucky Irving, Shipley, Braylon Allen, like Estime. Name Corum, Benson.
Corey, he asks, why isn't he an option in rookie draft? So I'm assuming you're meaning on Sleeper. Yeah, Sleeper, for whatever reason, doesn't have Jalen Wright available at this current point. Not a big deal. Once you actually have your legit rookie drafts, he will be available. Right now, though, he's not on the site.
Jalen Wright will be added in at some point. I have a feeling the NFL and the fantasy community, you know how oftentimes I feel like running back is the position where we're most different from the NFL. Like we all think Will Shipley and Braylon Allen and these guys are probably the top backs in this class. And I wouldn't be shocked if those guys were 6th round picks and Audric Estime and,
Corum.
Marshawn Lloyd and stuff are like the 3rd round backs or whatever. So I'm starting to think that like this class will, like, as it always is, it's just like whatever running backs get the draft capital. But like this year, especially, it's going to be like, oh, like Shipley went undrafted or something. Like we're going to see some crazy shit like that.
Like last year with like Zach Evans going way late. Like if you said like last year in January that you like Tyjae Spears or Roschon Johnson over Zach Evans, like people would have been like, what are you smoking? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, and like another sleeper guy that I've seen people hype up to is Kimani Vidal from Troy. He averaged like, what did he average this year? He averaged like 10 yards a carry or something, something crazy. But he went to the Senior Bowl and he weighed in thick. I think he's like 5'9", like 220 or something like that.
I love that we got the Senior Bowl going. I low-key forgot about that.
Dude, did you see, by the way, so Corey, I sent it to you, but Leggett, like the rumors are true. He ended up weighing 6'1", 223. I kind of like that better, to be honest.
I did see that.
I'm upset that he waited, that he's like shorter than 6'3". I mean, like,
dude,
is he a jump ball guy? I
guess. No, instead of being comped to DK, maybe it's AJ Brown now. Big fucking deal. Like after,
I think he's gonna get a lot of Debo coming out of South Carolina, similar to
Mingo. He definitely is. I think the thing that I really find exciting about Leggett is that I expected a big freakish athlete to run go routes and just moss people, and I got a guy that I can actually polish. That's what I really liked about him.
For a 1 year starter,
Leggett, huh?
For a 1 year starter and for a big wide receiver, that guy can run fucking routes. And he's also, not to mention, man, he is dominant on crossers. Dominant. And Rowan saying Mingo Part 2. I expected to watch Mingo Part 2.
I totally expected to watch Mingo, 100%.
He's fucking good. Yeah, I didn't expect that. Like
Ron, I got some nuts on the table takes about this draft class, dog. I got Ladd McConkey and Xavier Leggett graded higher than Brian Thomas and AD Mitchell right now.
Really?
I have them graded top 10, but I have Thomas a lot.
I'm gonna have to take your guys' word on Leggett, man. I won't completely banish him because the numbers don't love him. We'll see what the draft capital says.
Funny about it, Ron, by the way, again, I expected to just say, oh yeah, like, do I really have to watch a lot of his film? Like, his profile's so bad. Like, what am I actually going to watch here? Like, I'm so glad that, like, I said, you know what? Like, we got to fucking give him a fair chance. Because if I came into it biased, maybe I could have been against him. Came into it unbiased and was.
I
so
did come into
surprised.
it biased. I'm gonna keep it 100%. I'm like, this guy's gonna be Mingo. This guy's gonna suck. And then I watched him. I'm like, holy shit, he actually like fully
good.
changed my mind,
dude.
How's this isn't worth derailing you, Danny, but how did Rattler look in the Leggett clips?
Honestly, I mean, he had a couple.
I kind of like Rattler, dude.
He's got an arm, man.
He's Bo Nix light in this class, where it's like if you watch Rattler from 2 years ago, you're not gonna like him just like Bo Nix, but he got better. I'll give him that.
He's got a fucking rocket
day 3 arm. Spencer Rattler on the Jets. Let him sit behind Aaron.
Hear me out. Like stylistically, like, you know, in terms of traits, in terms of out of structure, in terms of being a bonehead, you kind of have a little bit of a Zach Wilson there.
Yeah.
Like, don't even mean that derogatory, by the way. Like, you see the arm
shade for, I think, like what was it, like QB1 or something like that, where he was like an elite QB in high school, and he was just like an asshole in this documentary.
Yeah.
And he went to Pinnacle
Caleb
High School.
Williams
Nico Mannion
is what Rattler is.
Who is he?
He's Wish Caleb Williams.
Yeah. But I appreciate you guys making time to hop on here. We'll look at the final team. Definitely a lesson learned in the big board is the ADPs on these QBs are capped, right? We took like Will Levis at 169, like Jaden Daniels. I actually want to see where Jaden Daniels ended up, because that'll be something that I like. Daniels and May, to be honest, I'd like to take a lot of them.
14th. Yeah.
So they were so that's actually not that far off of Daniels ADP. May 156. So yeah, once you get past like round 12, it seems like just take whatever quarterback you're eyeing up. But outside of going 4 QBs, not all that comfortable, but sometimes you have weird teams to make it through. McCaffrey, Rashad White, Henry, Khalil Herbert, Jalen Wright. We'll see how that goes. Diggs, Jalen Waddle, Cup. Deontay, pick 96. I do really like a lot. Sutton, super late. Judy, super late. Curtis Samuel. Xavier Worthy, super late. 168. Jalen Polk.
We got my guys right there, bro. Xavier Worthy and Jalen Polk are my dudes. I love them both.
Yeah. I'm glad because I think some film guys don't like Xavier Worthy at all.
I've seen like rankings where he's like in the mid-teens.
He's someone I'm scared of with draft capital. I could see it being similar to Downs last year, where he goes like 3rd or even maybe later than that. We'll see.
The difference between those two guys is that Worthy's going to run in the 4.2s.
Yeah.
And we know the NFL cares about that, even though they shouldn't, because Xavier Worthy literally ran 23 miles per hour in game speed, which would have been the fastest time in the NFL this year by like a full mile per hour.
Yeah. And the numbers guy in me can't. I mean, his freshman year is salivating.
It's insane how good the case you can make for Worthy is. And when I watch the dude play, I watched his entire career as a fan of the team. And also when I evaluate him like objectively, I'm like, I don't like that about him. I don't like this about him. But like in fantasy, we're not looking for every single play for you to do exactly what you're supposed to do. If you have 8 great plays or 10 great reps a game, you can be a wide receiver 2 in fantasy. It's like George Pickens actually is the person that taught me that, because I was very low on George Pickens because I wanted to see play in and play out him do exactly what he was supposed to do. And he hasn't done that. And he still doesn't do that in the NFL, but he gives you 10 to 15 reps a game where he looks like one of the most dominant receivers in the league. And Xavier Worthy is the same exact like type of player.
Yeah.
And I think it's exciting too that, you know, like year 1, it's not Tyson's never going to be empty. But it's nice to see like year 2 was down and then he rebounds in year 3 next to, you know,
broken
AD
hand
Mitchell.
Half the season also. Yeah. In year
then next
2.
to AD Mitchell and JT Sanders, he goes out there and performs, puts up a really solid year in year 3. So I'm excited about Worthy. We'll see where he goes. I think that's a good spot though, that if he runs fast, which we think he will, teams should value that and take him top 50 pick at worst.
Yeah. I think he'll be top 50. More of like I want to see him go on a team that needs that complimentary number 2 wide receiver. Because again, if I think he's going to have to handle number 1 type of wait, what were you saying?
I said Chiefs, please.
Yeah, Chiefs would be fine.
I kind of want him to go to a bad landing spot so that nobody drafts him and I get him at like 203 in my rookie drafts, but I also want him to succeed. So, I mean, Chiefs, Bills, that would be great.
What about when he's the Brandon Cooks replacement in Dallas?
Yeah, that would be great too.
Let's go.
That would be great. I will say as well, you guys are Polk over McMillan 100%. On Washington?
Yeah.
Okay. Just because I honestly, they both graded out
class.
the similar. But just from watching the Washington stretch down the end, I think Polk was just hurt. But like McMillan is a guy who stood out to me on their championship run.
Yeah,
which I think some teams might kind of value, but we'll see.
Yeah. By the way, I just wanted to lastly mention this on Leggett because we were talking about it before, but I was so shocked at his film. I went back and tried to understand, okay, why did this guy do absolutely nothing in his first 4 years? Like, what happened here? Like, I was genuinely trying to find, like, what was the case? Like, and then I found, like, he was apparently a converted quarterback. He got hurt multiple times. And then last year, the game that really set him off and started this hot streak for him in this ascension is that going into the bowl week, I think they either lost their OC to a coaching job or they lost an offensive coach to a coaching job. And Jalen Brooks went into the NFL draft. And so they said, okay, listen, now we got more opportunity. Now, new offensive mind here. Jalen Brooks not on the field. Him and Rattler started building a big chemistry. And if you look back, that game against Notre Dame in the bowl game, 7 catches, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. That was like his coming of age game. Gets that whole offseason, builds that rapport with Spencer Rattler. And like we were saying, I would argue he has the 4th best film in this class behind only the top 3 guys with Rome, with Malik, and with Marvin Harrison Jr.
He had 13 targets in that game too.
Yeah,
only 7 catches, but 13. Yeah, I mean, he was the guy in that game. Something I'm definitely going to look at. I think that there's a good case to be made with, like I think younger me, maybe 2 years ago, would have been pretty hard and fast of like, no, this guy sucks. But there's cases to be made. Like sometimes, like being a quarterback, changing positions, weird things happened in South Carolina with like Rattler coming in. Before that, I don't know. There's kind of a disconnect between kind of like 2 eras in South Carolina during that time. But appreciate you guys coming on here.
Anytime.
You guys can plug what you guys have going on. Fantasy Stock Exchange. I mean, we're streaming on your channel, but they could figure out where to find you. You have any final words or things to look out for from your guys' channel?
Yeah, I mean, we had some rookie talk there at the end. We are dropping the first edition of our rookie draft guide on February 15th over on Flock Fantasy, so make sure to check that out. Live right now is the wide receiver draft class database. If you guys are doing some research on this class or you want to know, who's the best in this class, EPA per play, that kind of advanced metrics are available there. I've gone back and calculated all their per game target shares, their yards per team pass attempt, all that kind of stuff. So if you're interested in that stuff, I have the quarterback and running back ones done already. I haven't actually posted them to the site yet. Those will be coming probably tomorrow and the next day. I've actually gone through with the quarterback database and collected all the collegiate metrics of the top 15 keep trade cut quarterbacks to compare to this quarterback class. So you can see exactly like how Mahomes and Allen and Herbert and all these guys were in college compared on a level playing field to the quarterbacks that we're evaluating now. And you can see just how freakish Caleb Williams is as a result of that. But it's super fun. I think this class is so fun to get into because, I mean, my wide receivers 6, 7, and 8, Ladd McConkey, Xavier Legette, and Keon Coleman are some of the more difficult evaluations you're ever going to have. But one of them could become an absolute superstar, if not a couple of them. So it's going to be a very fun class. Make sure to check out Flock. All of our rankings are up to date and all that good stuff. But yeah, you guys know the drill, of course. And I mean, if you're on Underdog, you can use promo code FSE. You can use promo code Ron, whichever one you want to use. You get 100% back up to $100 regardless.
Yep, and there's a lot of stuff going on right now where you can draft. I've been dabbling. I know Bush likes himself some golf. I know Danny likes himself some golf. I've been dabbling in, I think it was like the Farmers Insurance Open. I'll fire off a couple entries.
Let's go.
I hate to rub it in your guys, rub salt in the wounds just because I know you guys can't draft every day, but I'll find myself on the treadmill and I'll just load up like, I don't know, it'll be like, 40 minutes left to close and it'll be like the Saturday shank. And I'm like, fuck it. Like I'll draft this and get Minwoo Lee and just brick this entire thing.
Speaking of golf, we definitely have to have a tee time this summer. We gotta coordinate it.
Oh, 100%. I actually had a guy reach out to me today that he is like a higher up at a country club in Jersey and wants to have me and maybe make a video out of it or something out of it. So
what the heck?
We could potentially set something up, fellas.
I'd be down.
So yeah, golf, whatever. Promo code FSC, promo code Ron, all that good stuff on Underdog. Check it out. As always, I appreciate you guys for watching. And I will see y'all in the next one.